All right, huddle up. Let's break down Sam Hartman's first touchdown pass for Notre Dame. We got 11 personnel, left up bunch, yellow 5, Python, X Kitty. 11 personnel means we have one running back, one tight end. Left up bunch is our formation. Tight end is the Y. He's going to go to the left. The Z and the adjuster both go with him in a bunch set. Up tells the Z get on the ball. Tight end get off the ball. X is going to go opposite, and he needs to make sure he's on the ball. We're under center here, so our halfback is at a traditional 7-yard depth. Let's talk about Python. This is our terminology for short double post. Short double post is a concept we're going to talk about all season long. It's a 10-yard post by our number 2 slot receiver and a 12-yard post by our number 1 receiver on the outside. Usually we get a corner route on the backside, but here we've designated X Kitty, and Kitty is a 12-yard comeback. Yellow 5, this is our play action pass protection. 7-man full slide with the tight end and the running back staying in to block, and we need all 7 of them because we're getting cover 0 here. Man coverage, no free safety, 7-man pressure. We call it 11-up dog, and Sam Hartman doesn't spend long on the play fake here. Why is that? Because he understands what's most important is for the tailback to go ahead and get in pass protection as quickly as possible and for the quarterback to get his head around, which is exactly what happens here. Slight play fake, gets his head around, hits his slot receiver in stride for a big touchdown, and guess what? Notre Dame ran the exact same concept the next drive down the field. They ran Python with a tight end drag. Sam Hartman hit the outside receiver that time for a big touchdown in the red zone. This is a great man beater, quarters beater. It's great in the red zone. This is 11 personnel, left up bunch, yellow 5, Python, X Kitty.
All right, huddle up. I'm glad we spent all that time during spring practice, summer workouts, fall camp, working on our 6-man pressures with cover black, which is what we called cover 0 on the back end, only to have you guys screw it up in the first game and not control what we can control. If you look, we got a game up front. All right, we're manned up pretty much everywhere. We're bringing the will. It's a wham pressure. The nickel, we got Trey Bunch open. Trey Bunch open. It's balls in the middle of the field, which sucks. I'm not going to lie. That's unfortunate. But the nickel cannot get beat where? You can't get beat inside. I would rather you get cooked outside like a Guy Fieri commercial than get beat inside and give Sam Hartman the easy throw. And he goes ahead and aborts the play action pretty much. I'd have done the same thing after he sees that the pressure's not getting there, number 1. And number 2, we're getting beat inside at the nickel spot. That's what had us cooked in the beginning. Second thing, if I am the Mike and I am responsible for the back, if you can see that Jack in the 3-down alignment is responsible for the tight end stays. We're running a game inside. The tight end stays, and what does he do? He goes. All right, Mike, the back on the play action, you saw it was a play action. He stood on the end to help seal the outside. You got to go too. You're floating in no man's land, my friend, but we get beat inside. Now we're in retreat. Sam Hartman does a good job of staying in there and taking the hit when we do finally get there. And understand, when I am out of phase and I get back in phase, the receiver, the tight end, whoever's in the route can fool me with his eyes. You know what he can't fool me with? His hands. His hands go out, my hands go out. We got lucky that Sam Hartman put a little too much air on this ball. It's a great anticipatory throw, but he put too much air on the ball. His hands go out, my hands go out, I deflect this ball, but we screwed it up. And then we screwed it up again on the next drive. And if we're going to do that, then we deserve to lose. So huddle up. We're in big trouble.
Speaking about following, if you don't want to follow, if you want to be a leader and you have a great product, you need a great company to help sell it. That's why you need Shopify. Hit that little noise, David.
You want the little noise?
Hit it.
Here it is.
When you hear that, you just made another sale, which, surprise, surprise, you're now super rich. Sark. Shopify makes it easy to sell to anyone from anywhere. Imagine all the resources and tools available for a large business available to you right now. I always get asked by people who start a podcast or want to get in the game, hey, it's just a lot on my plate. I want to do merch. I want to do this. I want to do that. Well, I'm telling you right now, Shopify, they're an all-in-one. They make it really, really easy. You can customize your online store to your brand, discover new customers, build relationships that create diehard fans, and Shopify helps you manage inventory, track payments, and view real-time business insights from a single dashboard. It is the best way. You want to work smarter, not harder. That's where Shopify comes in. So sign up for a $1 per month trial at shopify.com/crane. That's C-R-A-I-N. It's not spelled like the bird, even though we're super fly. All lowercase. That's shopify.com/crane to start selling online today. Shopify.com/crane. David, hit that button. Surprise, surprise. I love that segment. That was a lot of fun to make. If this was an actual meeting like we used to have on defense, there would have been a couple more expletives.
Oh, okay.
There.
Yeah.
And there may have got something have been thrown.
Yeah, that's the lightest I've ever heard you.
The question becomes, if you're getting cover 0, if Notre Dame's getting cover 0 against Clemson with that front 7, or the Buckeyes with that front 7, is Sam Hartman going to have the same type of success? You know, is that an interception against those type of teams?
Well,
You should never see cover 0 from those teams.
well, it's
Ohio played it against Michigan.
Yeah,
I bet they won't do it again. That's why they got 40 dropped on their head.
Here's the thing. I mean, Navy was kind of and Coach Dewberry and them were kind of in a tough spot because they had to manufacture some sort of pressure. They weren't able to get there with 4. He had to make the decision of do I rush just our base stuff out there and try and get there and let Sam Hartman sit there forever and our guys try and cover them for 7 seconds, which is impossible. I don't care who you have out there. Or do we basically bring the crib, try and force Sam Hartman to maybe make a mistake, and we're still naked in the back end? It took him too long to get there with that pressure. And the thing I was saying was it's called a green dog. All right, some people call it different things. I call it a green dog, where if we're in 0 or we're in man and I'm a linebacker and the guy I'm responsible for, because sometimes you have what we call, you have peel rules, which means that if there's a blitz, right, and I'm an outside blitzer, and I get that back flares out to my side, I abort my blitz, I peel to the person. We also have what we call a switch call, or a split call that some people call it at linebacker, where, all right, backs, on this side, tight ends on this side. If the tight end splits and goes this way and the back goes that way, we'll just switch that off so we don't have to run into each other and pick each other. But you have a green dog where if my guy stays in, and I'm responsible for the tight end. That was a 7-man protection like you talked about. Tight end stays in. Running back stays in. If my guy stays, who I'm responsible for in coverage, I need to go. Yeah. I insert myself. I add myself to the pressure. I don't float and stay there. You accomplish nothing. You absolutely accomplish nothing. And you saw the Jack, who I was talking about, did that when he saw the tight end. His guy stayed in. The Mike did not. And you see the Mike just sitting there dancing by himself in the middle of the dance floor like Stephen.
It almost looked like he was quarterback spying because he was bouncing and floating.
You're not spying Sam Hartman.
Exactly.
That wasn't part of the play, but I understand Navy, and they did this a lot early, trying to manufacture pressure because they were not going to get there with 4. That's why being able to get there out of your base stuff is the defensive coordinator's best friend, because if I'm having to manufacture pressure, I'm having to force it. Yep. Like blitzing is like playing defense is like trying to court women. If I'm forcing it, probably not a good chance it's going to work out for me.
And the low resolution narrative here obviously is, oh, well, that's just against Navy. Of course, you're supposed to throw touchdowns and beat them by a lot of points. Forget about that. What's something we talked about the entire offseason with Sam Hartman? He lined up in shotgun almost exclusively at Wake Forest.
It was an RPO offense.
Running this slow not just RPO, but slow mesh with the running back to see, oh, should I pull it? And that's a completely different style. What you have to love if you're a Notre Dame fan about this play, this is him under center. All right, back at a traditional depth, 7 yards. You got 11 personnel. He's not only is he play faking and hitting a touchdown against a 7-man blitz and stays in there tough, but he does all the right things that you wouldn't expect a quarterback to do under center who's not used to being under there. Abandoning that play fake to not spend long on it because he knows he's getting the pressure. All that kind of stuff. That has to excite you if you're a Notre Dame.
Well, yeah, he didn't fumble a snap. It didn't look like he was having to reach to hand the ball off, which is another thing under center that people don't, give quarterbacks enough credit for. Being able to get to your spot to hand the ball off so the running back can get to his spot, whether he's got to press the inside, whether he's pressing the outside, whatever. But now you see why Sam Hartman made this move to go to an offense like what Notre Dame is running. Because if I'm an NFL scout, after watching that first game, give a gold star next to Sam Hartman.
Put it on the fridge.
Because, it helps you out. It's moving up draft boards because that's exactly what you've already proven that you can do it out of shotgun. We've already seen that. You can operate out of shotgun. You can operate in an alternative offense. Now, can you do it out of a more traditional? There's a reason they call it a pro-style offense. So good on Sam Hartman. You can tell that they were balanced, they were organized, and that's what we talked about on Monday with Notre Dame. You didn't see a lot of procedural penalties. You're going to have holds sometimes. You're going to have face masks sometimes. You're going to have kind of block in the backs that are close. Those are physical mistakes that happen in the game of football. You didn't see him line up wrong. You didn't see him turn the ball over. You didn't see them make mistakes on special teams. They got their ass on and off the field without a problem, and they were organized and balanced. And that's what wins over time. And I think that was the biggest thing. Yeah, they had better players than Navy. Yeah, we're not sure Notre Dame is a national title contender yet, but they did about as good on the first test as you possibly could, in my opinion.
1,200 subs away from 100,000. Need I say more? Subscribe.